With Donald Trump winning the 2024 U.S. presidential election, preppers across the country may have a unique set of considerations ahead. This video isn't about politics. It's about being aware of how potential policy changes could impact daily life and preparedness strategies. Welcome to Prepper's Paradigm, where we focus on practical, no-nonsense insights for navigating uncertain times. In today's video, we're taking a look at what Trump's return to office might mean for preppers, covering topics like economic impacts, potential changes in supply chains, social stability, energy policy, and healthcare. The goal here isn't to discuss how to prep, we do that in other videos, but rather to provide an overview of what to expect so that you're informed as we move forward. Just a quick note for those who haven't seen my videos before. I use a computer-generated voice due to an injury that makes my own voice difficult to understand. Stick with me as we break down these key issues. And remember, this is all about awareness, not fear. By staying informed, you can be ready for whatever might come next. One of the immediate considerations with Trump's return to office is the potential for heightened civil unrest. Over the past few years, political tensions have reached new levels, and this election has only intensified those divides. Various groups across the political spectrum may react strongly, particularly in urban areas, which could lead to demonstrations and even clashes. For preppers, it's important to stay aware of where and when these tensions might surface. Law enforcement agencies and security analysts have been vocal about the possibility of protests, and while most will remain peaceful, there is potential to escalate quickly. Being informed about scheduled events or areas where unrest is likely can help you make smarter decisions about travel and safety during this time. The key here is awareness. By staying updated on local news and monitoring any changes in your community, you can reduce your exposure to potential disruptions while keeping yourself and your family safe. With Trump back in office, potential economic shifts are another area preppers should keep an eye on. Historically, Trump's policies have favored deregulation and a protectionist approach to trade, which can create both opportunities and challenges. For instance, we may see short-term stock market fluctuations or even volatility in sectors affected by trade agreements or foreign relations. In addition to potential stock market impacts, there's also the possibility of inflation affecting essential goods. Protectionist policies could lead to rising costs for imported items, which may impact everything from food to consumer goods. For preppers, this means being mindful of how economic conditions could affect the availability and price of essentials over the coming months. The takeaway: keep an eye on economic developments and be prepared for shifts in prices on everyday items. Another area worth watching closely is the impact of Trump's trade policies on the supply chain. Known for his America First approach, Trump's administration is likely to prioritize domestic manufacturing and impose restrictions on imports. While this focus on U.S. production could be beneficial for some industries, it may also disrupt supply chains for goods that rely heavily on foreign sources. Protectionist policies can lead to delays or shortages in items that are imported, especially if trade tensions escalate with key countries. For preppers, this could mean seeing certain products, such as electronics, specialty foods, or specific medical supplies, becoming harder to find or more expensive over time. Being aware of these potential shifts in the supply chain allows you to make proactive choices about the items that matter most to you. Staying informed on trade policy changes can help you anticipate any significant supply chain adjustments that could impact your access to essentials. With Trump's return to office, changes in security and border policies are anticipated, which could affect various aspects of daily life. Trump's stance on immigration and border control has historically focused on tightening security, which may lead to stricter measures at the borders and increased enforcement within the country. For some communities, particularly those in border states, this shift could impact the local workforce, access to certain goods, and even the movement of people. These policies may also shape national defense priorities, with Trump likely to emphasize military strength and security at home. For preppers, this could mean being aware of any heightened government presence or increased security measures in certain areas. While this may not impact everyday life for everyone, those living in specific regions or near key facilities could see a noticeable change in local security dynamics. Understanding these potential changes can help preppers assess any shifts in local or national security and consider how it might affect their own preparedness plans in the long term. Trump's administration is likely to place a strong emphasis on energy independence, focusing heavily on domestic fossil fuel production and possibly reducing restrictions on oil, gas, and coal. For preppers, this could have both immediate and long-term implications. On one hand, an increase in domestic energy production may help stabilize fuel prices in the short term, potentially keeping energy costs lower and more predictable. However, the emphasis on fossil fuels could mean less focus on renewable energy sources, which could impact energy infrastructure in the future. Trump's environmental policies may also lead to relaxed regulations, particularly those related to emissions and environmental protections. While this could boost certain industries, there may be localized effects on air and water quality, especially in areas near industrial sites. For preppers concerned about environmental health, staying informed about any changes in environmental standards will be key to assessing potential risks in their regions. Being aware of these shifts in energy and environmental policy helps preppers plan for possible changes in fuel costs and environmental quality, both of which can affect long-term preparedness strategies. With Trump back in office, we may see a shift in healthcare policy and pandemic response strategies. Trump has generally favored empowering states to handle healthcare decisions rather than centralizing control at the federal level. For preppers, this could mean that healthcare access and policies might vary significantly depending on where you live. Some states may invest heavily in public health infrastructure, while others might take a more hands-off approach, which could impact the availability and cost of medical services and supplies. In terms of pandemic response, Trump's previous policies lean toward limited federal mandates, focusing on individual choice and state-directed responses. If a new health crisis emerges, we may see a similar approach, with less direct federal intervention and more responsibility placed on states to handle outbreaks. For preppers, understanding how state-level policies might affect pandemic preparedness is important. Keeping an eye on local health advisories and maintaining a level of self-sufficiency in medical supplies can help mitigate the impact of any changes in public health policy. As we've covered, Trump's return to office may bring changes that could affect everything from economic conditions to supply chains and public health policy. While this video isn't about detailed prepping actions, here are a few general recommendations for staying informed and prepared as policies evolve. First, keeping up with reliable news sources will be essential. Staying aware of any policy shifts, especially those that directly impact essentials like healthcare, trade, or energy, can help you stay one step ahead. Try to cross-check information from multiple credible sources to get a balanced view. Next, pay close attention to local developments. Many of Trump's policies emphasize state-level control, so certain changes may depend heavily on where you live. Understanding how your state is handling issues like healthcare or public safety can help you anticipate potential impacts on your own preparedness needs. Finally, consider monitoring economic trends. Policy changes can affect the prices and availability of essentials, so keeping an eye on inflation rates, supply chain updates, and energy costs is a smart move. By maintaining awareness of these shifts, you'll be better positioned to adjust your plans and resources as needed. Remember, the goal is not to react out of fear, but to be informed and proactive. Staying vigilant about these issues will help you adapt your preparedness strategies as the landscape changes. As we prepare to move into this new phase with Trump back in office, staying informed about potential changes and their impacts will be key for anyone focused on preparedness. From economic adjustments and supply chain shifts to healthcare policies and local security dynamics, these areas may influence our day-to-day lives in ways that preppers should consider. The purpose of this video isn't to take a political stance, but to provide you with the information needed to understand what could be ahead. Remember, preparedness is about awareness and adaptability, not reacting out of fear, but being ready for whatever comes next. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and share any insights or experiences you think could benefit the community. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to the channel for more updates and resources on practical preparedness. Thanks for watching, and stay prepared.